Yo. It should be good, right? Hello? How do I know if it's working? I don't know if it's working or not. Yeah, it's plugged in. Okay. Well, I don't know. How about now? There we go. Okay, I see it. Let's see it. What about desktop audio? We want that. Right. Okay. Alright, I think we're actually good to go now. Let's get this started. Um, I know it's been a while since I've streamed or made a video or anything of that sort, really. Um, I've been playing a lot of Warframe lately. Um, if you don't know what that is, it's a third-person shooter with, I guess, Iron Man, pretty much. Um, yeah, and I've been doing a lot. As you could, let me check this real quick. I gotta claim some stuff here. No, right. I gotta get more of those. Okay, that's great. Um, I've I've never played Warframe on Twitch or on YouTube, but my favorite Warframe so far that I have played and actually experienced, because I came back to the game, I'd say about a couple weeks ago. You can tell I have some decent stuff with the Archon shards. That's from when I used to play. I did not get those within the last week. The only one that I did get that was new is this one. I got that last night. Um, I haven't really wanted to stream because I just haven't had the time to do it. But here we are. We're doing it. We're just here. Um, let's see. All right, all right. That should be working. Maybe it's. Yeah, I have this game turned down quite a bit. But yeah, let's play some Warframe. Um, we'll go. I've somewhat finished um, the Steel Path stuff. Um, Honestly, lately I don't know what I've been wanting to do. Um, Mainly because I feel like there's a lot that I have to go and grind out with this game, which I don't. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind it. Um, but if you don't do it daily, it becomes very um, annoying, you could say. And having that is not fun. Jesus, I forgot how fast he goes. As somebody who is working um, during the slow season and has time to play video games and stuff, this game is not what even I would probably suggest to people who have families or are trying to start families like myself. Um, and but besides that, I like this game. It's enjoyable. Um, the only problem that I have is building stuff. Where is this? Yeah, he's down here. He's coming up this way. Right? There we go. We'll just pick this one up. What does that mean? You know, and even this here is a great example. Like, there's 3 syndicate missions that you can do daily. Those are daily things. At least I think they are. You know, and I just got a friend into gaming and into playing this game specifically, and he's like, there's a lot, there's too much sometimes even, um, and you know, I have to agree with him. Because to get to where even I'm at, like, I wouldn't say I'm end game or that I have, you know, all the gear, you know. I don't. And I'd like to, but to put in that time, especially like your daily bounties or, you know, your world, your free roam stuff is what really kills it. Sometimes I don't like that concept. Um, you know, I've streamed on this before. I've played WoW on Twitch. I've played Rainbow. You know, I've played, you know, a decent amount, especially with WoW. You know, although I did stream more classic than retail, I did play retail off stream, um, because, you know, I just wanted to see the game and how it was doing. And um, I feel like a lot of games are like this, where like if you go and look, you know, you go look here in the Foundry, you know, things I can make. It's going to take me 24 hours to make the secondary. Now I already have it, but getting this in general is just hard to get, um, especially for the parts. Like getting the blueprint for this is just insane. Um, you know, and if you want to get a prime, yeah, it's only half as much, but then like that was a Banshee prime part, right? So we go in here, Banshee, right? But if you hit tab, this relic is in the prime vault, so that means I now have to wait to get that prime until that vault opens, which, I'm sorry, I don't want to sit there and do that. Now, one of the ones that I'm missing for Atlas Prime is his neuroptics. That's all I need. Um, but again, if we go over here, and I already know that this is his neuroptics, right? I need to have 100 void traces to get a higher chance on his neuroptics. Because if you, so you got like what, like a 2% chance of getting it, there now you're at like 10 or 8 or even 5. I don't know what the actual numbers are. And you have to have the void traces to upgrade what you want, right? But then, now they're always up, but you gotta look for the void fishers. and you want to find something like this right here. You want survivals, defenses. Interceptions aren't too bad. Interceptions are really slow. I don't recommend those. Um, but you go and do these things, and here we'll just run this. Even though I don't want to use any, I don't want to use any Axie relics. I don't have a whole lot of those. Now I have a ton of these. So now we're gonna run it, right? But you're gonna see that as we play, the amount of time compared to what we're getting out of it is not. I feel like it's not worth it. Oh, I should have used a different build. Oh well. I'll be alright. Come on. I know what this is already. And honestly, I'll just kind of stay in this room. It's easy to farm. I'm gonna repop that. Now, like, it's not hard. Like I one tap them. And if you're curious on what weapon I'm using the Cedo Prime. It's a shotgun. It's Lavos's gun. I really enjoyed that shotgun quite a bit. I think it's actually one of my favorite guns. I know there's a lot of other guns that are just as good or even better. But to me, the Cedo just, I don't know, it's just, I just enjoy it. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, like it's not. No, like I could sit in one spot, but I feel like that gets really boring. So I like to get around, move around. Plus, these aren't even challenging for me. I mean, my minion just pretty much killed that by himself. I didn't have to do anything. And the frame I'm using is the newest one. I believe it's not Nako, but it's Uriel. And I really enjoy his kit. I like what he does. I am in the process of grinding out for Nako. And like I said, the grind we'll go take a look after a few rounds of this, but I'm nowhere near getting Nako. I just need his blueprint, and I did those bounties for like an hour, and I didn't get his blueprint one time. So I was a little um, frustrated because today I found myself wanting to play, and then I'd stop playing, and then I'd get on, I'd log on, and then log out, log on, and then log out. So, because just thinking about the grind is not the best. I thought playing this and talking about this kind of thing would be easier to do, because not only can I grind some stuff out when I really don't want to, but I think this is a common theme in today's gaming in general, where it's catered to a certain type of people that have more consistent schedules. My work, I ended up getting a new job, and it goes 3 seasons, pretty much spring, summer, and fall, and that's about it. In the winter, it's nothing. We don't really get a whole lot. At least this year we didn't, from what I understood, which is fine. I don't mind that. I don't care about that. I ended up injuring my ankle. I twisted the hell out of it, so it's still in the process of recovering. Um, I went back to work the other day, so I'm doing good. Um, but I know that, like, during the spring and summer, I'm not gonna be able to game like I am right now. I'm not. I'm gonna have I have a new relationship. Um, well, I don't know if it's new. No, it's the same one. Yeah, it's the same one since I last streamed. It's just been a while since I have streamed. I kind of forgot my timestamps, but I'm trying to start a family, and it's just um, this type of gaming is not going to work. Now today I had a day off, um, because again it's the slow season. We're pretty much done with the job that I did yesterday, so there's no reason for me to go in, or you know. So my schedule, it's not as consistent, um, and I know that during the spring, I know here in a couple weeks, we're gonna be having some decks to rebuild and stuff. We're doing some outdoor work, and we're gonna also have to take Saturdays to do some overtime. So that means I won't have as much time to game or even be with my family. And then the time that I do have, is going to be used for my family and making sure that they are taken care of. That's the whole goal with a family. Um, I'm going to take a look at chat real quick. I still got to get a second monitor. We're still working on that. But I mean, for right now, like, this is okay. It's okay to play Warframe and stuff and games like this. But when you have a full schedule of stuff that you have to do, yeah, as a parent or even as an adult in general, um, these kinds of games are not the best. Because I know when there was a lot of stuff going on with me, I didn't really play Warframe. There never really was a reason for me to play Warframe. I found it very um, time consuming. And the only time that I would play is if a new frame came out. And that was it. Now, I didn't even know that this frame came out until the old war started. I don't know how long that's been out. But I know I logged on like a few months, I think about a month ago. Yeah, it was close to about a month ago, and I saw that Nako was the new frame, and I didn't even log on. I didn't try to get him. I didn't try to purchase him from the in-game store, or not the in-game store, but the you know. I didn't. There was no reason. Um, so the it's time consuming. I find it to be very much like that. I'm lucky I played as much as I did, um, before I became an adult. Um, because I mean, this kind of gaming does not appeal to me as much. Like, I've been playing this for like about 2, 3 weeks straight, and I'm already like, I'm burned out. So, and it's normal to get burned out from a game, but it makes it to where um, I'll look at other games, like let's take Diablo 2 from Blizzard, especially with the new Reign of the Warlock, because I've played, I can go, we can look at that at some time, um, but that game is very grindy too, like just to get the rune words to work. And I played Diablo 2 when I was a kid, when there was a disc, and I didn't have internet. So I never played with other people. I never had the internet. So I had to learn to build my characters based off of just the stuff that I would get. I didn't even know rune words were, really a thing. It wasn't until um, I think it's I think it was when we moved and I started working a job and I had internet. I was paying for internet. And then I was like, oh, there's rune words I can use. Like, and I'm like, what, like 18? Yeah, 16 years old maybe. You know, so I didn't know that kind of stuff was a thing. I didn't know rune words in Diablo 2 were a thing. And now I see these really, like, um, I don't know. There's just a lot of streamers that I see, or some streamers that I see, and they'll play Diablo 2, and they'll get, what they need usually within, you know, like a week or a couple days even, um, because they have the time to do that. And the gaming industry, especially the companies like League of Legends even, I've streamed League of Legends. Yeah, that was one of the other ones. And they make the game built around the meta and what the pros do, or those that are high, um, what is it, high rank or whatever. I can't remember. They base the game off of those players, um, which to me, as somebody who didn't really play League a lot, or I could only do maybe 2 games, you know, there's, hold up. Jesus. I feel like I hit it like 10 times. But, oh, Jesus, there's one more. But, like I was saying, Diablo 2, I grinded out. I finally got, like, I don't know what it was. I got some rune word finally that you should be able to get within, like, the first 20 levels of your character. And I got it at, like, level 60. Or no, like level 80. Yeah, I'm like level 90 something right now. Yeah, I don't know. I know I'm up there. But when that kind of stuff happens, it became really annoying. And like I was grinding in Dariel for a certain ring, and I kept looking online to see if there were better ways to farm for the ring that she drops on Nightmare mode, and I wasn't finding anything. But like there were comments on the videos that I would watch that'd be like, just go farm for something else, go get something else, like there's just as good or if better stuff out there. And it's like when you see a bunch of people saying that and regarding that kind of gameplay, it makes me not want to play it. And sure enough, within like 2 days of after that, I'm done. Like I leveled the warlock. I got, I beat the game. I have some decent gear. I'm done, right? So what's the point of grinding out the game when you've already beaten the game itself? You've gone through normal to hell. After that it's, oh, well, it's hardcore. Okay, well, I'm sorry, but I feel like that is not healthy for a game to just be like, oh, well, if we want more players, that are gonna play this game, we want them to go to hardcore. Now, I asked my girlfriend, I was like, hey, should I do this? Because I was thinking about it, doing the hardcore level 99 to race to level 99 or whatever. And I made a character, and she said, yeah, you should, if you want to. And I was like, I'm not gonna do that because that sounds stupid. Not because it is stupid, but because of the fact that I now have to start over with what I just did without dying. And I also have to make sure that I have my rune words at the right times, or even good gear in general. Um, Now, I understand that there's a stash, and oh, well, I could have done it sooner. Yeah, you're right. I could have done it sooner. I could have made better gear decisions or whatever. But when I have decent gear and I'm not dying, like consistently dying, and I'm actually kind of like I can handle my own on hell, um, and I'm not getting the gear that I would like to have to make my build better, um, and doing that for a week is exhausting. Um, and this goes for all games. It's not just Diablo 2, Warframe, hell, even, like Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege is very much like that, but that's a little, yeah. It's the company. Um, and I know DE with Warframe is not the best either. But from what I've heard recently is that it's actually doing a lot better, to my understanding. I did see a video pop up in my recommended on YouTube about, oh, I don't know, like, I think there's something negative about Warframe. I'm not sure, but I know there are people, especially I think more players, than anything else, that make those kind of complaints, that are upset with how they do things. Oh, it was loot. Um, yeah, loot in this game is very, um, scarce, I feel like. Yeah, see, I'm still very much alive with this frame. I really like this one. And usually when I play Warframe, I usually go on to YouTube and I find just someone to listen to, just talk about whatever. Um, it's just, and when I sit there for 3 hours and listen to somebody talk, it can get kind of annoying. And that is my decision to listen to them. But at the same time, I want to play this game, but I also like listening to stuff at the same time. And this game is very, We've been doing the same thing now for what, 20 minutes? So, you know, and I've just been ranting. I haven't even talked about the gameplay but I will talk about the good things. Don't get me wrong with that. Um, I don't know, just this, these kinds of companies are iffy with me. So when a game releases that's, like, oh, it's a 10 out of 10, and you watch the trailer and then you go to play it and it's completely different. Like, a good example is Diablo 4. I've never streamed Diablo 4 on Twitch, but I have definitely played it. I grew up playing WoW and Diablo 2, Baldur's Gate, the original, the first game of Baldur's Gate. I grew up really old school, and I'm 23. Um, so to me, I like games that are real simple. Um, like I would play Diablo 2 more often and make more characters if the gear wasn't so hard to get. If the gear wasn't so hard to get, I would have made more characters and leveled them more by now, easily. But because the drops of those kinds of things keep changing with every patch and with every streamer that does better than the average player and the average player base, that's when it starts to become a problem. And that makes me not want to play the game, knowing that the company keeps making these poor decisions. Even though they're going to, regardless. They're just going to. Um, and it really sucks. And today, this is a test for the stream. Make sure everything's running. This is not going to be an all day, every day kind of thing. Because, like I said, my work is it's inconsistent right now. Mainly my ankle and work itself, the job itself, can be very unknowing. Um, I'm probably going to end it off here at 20 minutes here. And the good things that I do like about Warframe, I'll go ahead and end with this. I think the story is good. I've always loved, um, the sounds of the shotguns. I know that's a small thing, but like it's satisfying to hear it. At least to me, it is. Um, just like how the Exceltra is to see, when you blow everything up and you do a bombardment on them. The other thing is this game, you can do things that are not as time consuming. Let's see what we get here. And right now, I'm just getting ready for the next time that Borrow Ketir comes. Um, because I saw some stuff this last time that I really wanted, and I didn't have enough things to sell. Because a lot of the stuff that I had was just stuff that I still need or want to have just as a collection. Yeah, like I said, like we played for 20 minutes and I'm only getting 86 void traces. So I just doubled. So it'll take me 20 minutes to double that. Now, if I had an infinity resource, or no, it's a resource drop. Oh, I might just do that, yeah. I have the plat for it. I'll do that later. And that's another thing is money for plat for in-game stuff. Where I think this kind of stuff should be in-game currency in the sense of like the free roam. I feel like that would be more enticing for people to do those things because then you're getting plat out of doing like free roam or doing bounties. Um, because as a normal player, as somebody who has what he needs, like I can easily do steal content up to like level 230 without dying. So I can do all the content in the game. So why should I have to go out and do the free roam stuff when I have what I need? But like I said, I might be on another time. I might be on tomorrow. I might be on tonight. I have no clue. But we're going to go ahead and end it here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.